it's Omicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, just watching the latest Fear Dragon StarCraft 2 meme that you sent me 2 minutes ago.
I discovered it 2 minutes ago as well, and it's amazing.
Fear Dragon, you do good work.
It's pretty great, I'm not gonna lie.
The first 2 minutes are, and I'll watch the rest of it after the pod. We will see.
Yeah.
All right. So happy podcast day.
Happy podcast day.
Okay, so second playthrough of Cyberpunk. I forgot that they relieve you of your weapons for the Arasaka heist. So I couldn't do anything when Smasher came into the room. So
right. Well,
yeah.
When he comes into the room, couldn't you have already stolen Yorinobu's gun from his bedside drawer?
They don't want you to use weapons. Like I tried to change to fists, and they're like, no.
Oh, okay.
Nope, not allowed. And I'm like, what? Okay, fine. I'm helpless here. I get it. It's fine. I get it. Yeah, it was kind of nice though. Like getting to level 11 before doing any of this stuff means that you do a lot better against the guards. That's for sure. I was just like, boom, headshot.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I still have not finished the game.
Nope. That's true. Because you keep getting stuck doing stuff you're not supposed to do.
How was I supposed to know I wasn't supposed to jump over a fence?
It's not take shortcuts in this game. Just follow the yellow line. Gosh dang it! Keep you on the straight and narrow.
I want agency. I want to determine where I go. God damn it!
That's not what this game is. It's not truly open world. We've had this discussion.
It's true. Eventually, I was like, well, I definitely can't get out of here because invisible walls. And if I drive in the other direction, it's just like, there's nothing out here for you yet. And it turns me around. So that's great. I just reloaded a save. I was like, all right, this time I'll just follow the yellow brick road. And yeah, I did the thing that I wanted to do. And I wanted to go and do one of the racing missions with Claire out in like the Badlands.
Yeah.
Went down a hill, was driving through some like gully kind of thing. Because it's the driving in Cyberpunk, I slid uncontrollably into a rock and got stuck under it.
As you do, yes.
Unable to move and just watching all the other drivers race on past. So that is where I put the game down for the day. I'm like, I've had enough of this.
You wasted a lot of time being stuck. Let's not be stuck again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like if you actually watch the race, it's just very rubber bandy, right? You know what that means in video game racing terms?
Sure.
Okay. Anyway, it's just if you watch, the other racers are like constantly crashing and going off, and then they just reappear behind you. It's good times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not polished, not finished like so many other things in Cyberpunk, but it's fun. Apparently, if you use your own car and like use a sporty one, then Claire doesn't even shoot. She just
really
sits inside. This is very nice. What a nice car you have, V.
I used a pretty nice car the first time.
And she was shooting?
And she was shooting. And then the second time, you have to use her car. So she was definitely shooting.
Yeah.
But I'll try it again with like a really fancy car now that I have most of the cars for the next race. And see if she shoots.
Yep, that's what I saw. It wasn't like all of the fancy ones, but particular ones she doesn't shoot. They didn't.
I imagine the Rayfield ones where the doors aren't really doors. Like she can't just wind down the window because it's not a window.
Right. Oh yeah, that might be it.
Yeah.
For science. Right.
No
Anywho.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So a report. I did watch the 2 animes that you recommended last week.
Yeah. Well,
Horimiya. Horimiya, thank you. I can't get these right at all. It's fine.
No. And Wonder Egg Priority.
Wonder Egg Priority is insane.
Yes, it is.
It is bonkers bananas. Like, I don't know. Here's the thing. Obviously, there are some dream aspects to this whole thing, which automatically inserts insanity to like the nth degree.
Uh-huh.
But then it seems to be affecting the real world kind of too.
Uh-huh.
That's about all I have.
Did you watch the second episode of that as well?
No, I didn't realize there was going to be another one before the pod, so I didn't watch it.
Okay,
no.
okay. So I've seen that.
Did it help at all?
No.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Sounds great.
It didn't help because it's still... not because it's wildly crazy again, but because it's just more of the same almost.
Yeah. It's the same level of what's happening.
It's the same level of crazy without explanation, which is fine. It's enjoyable, but boy, do I don't... Like, I would love to know how any of this works.
Right. Any of it.
Would you like
one tiny piece?
Would you like to describe how it appears to work?
So she makes friends with a bug.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's the thing. For all intents and purposes, the world of this show is normal. It's, maybe a 10-year-old girl. She's nice to nature. She plants trees. She rescues bugs. She's that kind of person. She's got heterochromia, which means one eye is different color than the other one, which is actually very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently she gets bullied by this because kids are like, different is bad.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's worse in Japan, but anyway. In fact, I pretty much know it's worse in Japan. They're more into conformity over there.
Well, I mean, kids can be
kids are kids.
Yeah, and anything different, someone's going to bully someone over it. So it's not unbelievable that little I, as her name is, AI.
Oh, yes, of course.
I gets bullied over this. It's not outside of the realms of possibility.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So she saves the bug, and the bug's like, "What's up? I have an offer for you." And she's like, "Oh, this isn't totally normal behavior." And like, "Wait, what?" This happens all the time. I'm nice to bugs, and they talk to me apparently. And he is like, giving you a free gift. Go follow the quest markers.
Yeah, follow me to this thing. The first one's free, but next time bring your wallet.
Yeah, so the first one's free turns out to be an egg. She doesn't know what this is. She doesn't know what she's supposed to do with it. At all. She ends up having a dream. She goes to sleep, I guess. Right?
Well,
she's dreaming about the kids writing mean stuff on her locker. Is that after that point? I think it is.
That is after that point, but I don't know that that's people writing that on her locker.
Well, why would we care if they're writing it on a locker for someone we don't know who it is?
No. We do know who it is. It's like, it was, spoilers, the girl in the egg, right? Because the people who in each of the dream worlds, it seems that the people in which that I can interact with, the monsters and the other people, are a manifestation of the person in the egg's trauma that led them to kill themselves.
Oh, holy crap. Okay. Well, you have more understanding than I do, that's for sure. Fantastic.
That's just the way it seems. It could be her lockup, but I don't specifically think it is.
Right, no, that's fine.
Because, she's there to... basically, she finds out that once you break the egg, a person comes out of them. Like, it grows to abnormally large egg levels, breaks, and a person is there. And then that person gets hunted by something creatures. And if they die, she fails. But if she can kill the boss that also spawns in associated with this person, they disappear, but in a good way. And she gets closer to saving her friend who killed herself. I think that's the basic gist of how it works.
Interesting. Okay, so she has to go through like saving different people before she can save the person that she already knows.
Saving different people will somehow save the person that she does know.
Yeah.
Not sure how that worked, but she can get eggs out of what looks like a gacha machine,
Mm-hmm.
and she can get as many eggs as she can afford. Don't know how much they cost. Don't know how much this 10-year-old has in her
I was gonna
wallet.
say, I don't know that she has a job. Yep.
Nope, she's literally
She
a
seems to
shut-in.
spend all her time with bugs.
And is a shut-in.
Yeah.
Oh, she's 14. Okay, much.
She wanders
different.
around outside at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's a safe neighborhood.
yeah, it's Japan.
Hmm.
Boy, is it a real like trip. The first episode.
It certainly is.
Um,
So do we know who the girl that's already getting eggs at the end of the episode 1 is?
No, not at the end of episode 1. No.
Because the dummy people are like, we're worried about her. She's
Kind
just
of.
like buying tons of eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes back in the second episode, so we know a little bit more about her. Yep.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know. It's fun visually. It's well animated. There's some interesting ideas for sure.
2 episodes in, we just need to know more about whether or not it'll pay off on any of these things. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
So-
the problem here. That's what we're dealing with.
Yes. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Wow, my anime list rates it as it's an R-rated 17+ show.
Okay.
Which I don't know. I kind of figured that would be maybe more like an M.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they determine that.
Weird.
Super weird.
Yeah. Anyway, other show, Horimiya.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mia's nice. It's this Omicron kind of anime where nothing exciting really ever happens, and just about people and their relationships and dramas.
What do you? Ooh, I feel attacked. What do you mean nothing exciting ever happens?
Nothing exciting has happened in the first 2 episodes of this show. It doesn't mean I don't like it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's all about regular people doing regular things and having regular conflict that gets resolved in regular ways.
That can be exciting.
Okay.
Right. Like, was he going to get to the shop to to buy the eggs in time? That's exciting. He jumped over a fence, right, while undoing his tie, right? Like, that was pretty exciting. And then he told some random girl, it's egg time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Is she gonna figure out what his first name is? Stay tuned to find out. And then she does 10 minutes later, and it's fine. Problem solved.
Okay. The stakes are not high. Okay, so at the moment, the stakes are not high.
No, not at all. Stakes are not high. It's fine. I like the characters. They're interesting. They're fun. It's wholesome. It's heartwarming. What's his face? Headbutted the student body president. That was cool.
That was exciting. Although, so when they're grilling her about having not submitted the budget report, right?
Yeah.
And we know that it's obviously the girlfriend's fault of the president, right? Did you go back and watch when they dumped all that work on her in the first place?
No.
They hand her 2 folders, and she does put one in her bag and take it home.
I noticed that she put one in her bag, but I didn't know what that was. It was a folder with Japanese words on it. So
right. But
I was like, that must be her work, I suppose.
Right, but I'm pretty sure when the president hands her the work, right, he hands her 2 of those blue folders. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that just muddies all the waters then, doesn't it?
Right. So whatever it is they gave her wasn't important, I guess, or will come up later.
Yeah. Because what she returned to Pink Hair Girl was all of it. And then Pink Hair Girl screwed up. And she learned her lesson, I hope. Yeah.
Hopefully. Probably not.
So it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Is this Japanese culture? Like, it's crazy to me that she's like, please don't tell anyone I was a jerk when I was 11 years old. Please don't. I'll do anything you ask. It's like, what? Why? Who cares? You were a bully to this kid, 4 or 5 years ago, which is forever in minor time.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to do all of this garbage in your already crazy busy life because you're worried this is going to get out. Come on.
I mean, she's probably overreacting to it, but
Yes.
I don't know how specific this is in Japanese culture, where it's like, if someone has any tiny amount of dirt on you, you're immediately become their slave, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but it feels like it's, I don't know, she's particularly worried about it for some reason.
Yeah.
And now she's just a better person and thinks it'd be devastating if something even this trivial came out.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, she gets easily embarrassed. Like, we know that. Like, she
True.
gets embarrassed by stuff 4 times an episode.
Right. Yeah.
Dumb things.
Singing
Yeah.
anime songs.
Yeah. Singing anime songs, having her mom spend 3 seconds with the boy she likes. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, any teenager would be embarrassed by that, right? I don't feel like that's an exclusive embarrassment to her. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Imagine imagine you came home from high school one day and the girl you liked was already in your house chatting to your parents and you were like, they got rid of me specifically to talk to her without me, right? Like, you weren't there to do introductions properly, which is a plot point because she doesn't know the guy's name. But
right. Well, and mom warned her. Mom said, I want to do that. I want some one-on-one time with him.
It's true.
She was very specific about this. Mm-hmm. So if the girl I liked was coming to my house every day, my parents were like, we'd like to meet with her one-on-one. And then the next day they were meeting one-on-one at my house. I'd be like, well, that happened.
Well, okay, there's a difference.
They followed through.
There's a difference between meeting one-on-one and meeting one-on-one for the first time, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It is different, I feel. I feel like it's important.
That's fair. Anyway, so there's that. I don't know. Like, anytime anybody hints at all that she has any feelings for this other guy, she just, like, blows up at him.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
She has major problems with this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
She's very repressed.
She's very busy. Gotta buy those eggs, shop those sales.
Do all the work for the student body council.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yep. Anyway. I've noticed that none of the main characters have the same hair color. We're running out at this point. We've got brown, black, blonde, red, pink, green, purple.
We have 2 greens and we have like 2 pinks. Yeah.
Gray.
Who's gray?
Little brother's gray.
Oh, Toru. No.
Yeah.
Is his name Toru?
I don't know. He's not an important character, obviously.
No,
like 6.
Toru's like armband guy, wristband guy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Now that I remember.
There's 2. Well, I'm just talking main characters. Obviously, we've seen other people because there's more than 7 characters in the show.
Right. There's the teacher dude who's weird.
Yeah.
But,
if he doesn't come back.
No, not for the 2nd episode, but good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho. Yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Keep watching. See how it goes.
Yeah, so there are actually a bunch of new shows out now.
I am aware. Yes.
Like Log Horizon Season 3 has started. Highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
It kicks off immediately with stuff happening. No, like, hey, it's been 4 years since the last season. Let's get you up to date. It's like, nope, things are moving.
Nice. I appreciate that. That's
great.
great.
Stuff's happening. It's very good. Yeah, there's that.
Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah, still haven't caught up.
Oh, man. So this last season of Attack on Titan has been like, it's okay. We're getting to know some characters we've never met before in the final season. We're meeting people we don't know, which is weird. Mm-hmm. And we're spending a lot of time with them, which is weird. Mm-hmm. And we didn't see any of the characters from like the first, 4 seasons of the show.
Right.
And finally, this latest episode on Sunday, they're like, here's everyone you love. Yay, they're doing cool stuff. Yay. I was like, yes, thank goodness. We made it. A good episode of Attack on Titan. It only took 3 episodes to get there.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. It is great though. It is woof,
Yeah.
highly recommended. Yes, the payoffs here are excellent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
keep it on your list.
Let's fucking go.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the other shows that I've wanted to watch has put me in a real like teenage funk. I don't know what it is. Horror me is like I should get my ear pierced again, and this other one's like I should get a skateboard because this one's called Skate the Infinity, which is a dumb name, but basically half Japanese, half Canadian man moves to Okinawa where there is no snow, and he's been snowboarding since he was like 2, and then basically gets sucked in by a friend he makes in high school to learn how to skateboard. And the skateboarding's really fun. It's well animated and it's enjoyable. I'm like, man, that looks so cool.
Skateboarder now. I want to break my arm.
Yeah, nothing would go wrong if I fell off that.
No.
Even though I think the second episode is like 90% him falling off the board and coming home with covered in bandages.
Good. At least it's realistic.
Yeah, one where he even like falls off into traffic and nearly gets hit by a car. So very realistic.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
I mean, it's his own fault. He wants it to be a snowboard, so he tapes his feet to the board. Right?
Wow.
He can't bail properly. It's pretty great.
Dude, falling in snow versus falling on pavement are two extraordinarily different things. Smart man. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So those are my 2 backup recommendations for you to watch. If you
Gotcha.
lose interest in the other 2.
Fair enough.
Anything else been going on? Show-wise? Like, you've been watching The Expanse?
Yeah. Expanse is good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Part of what I like about The Expanse is the crew that they put together in the first season.
Okay.
It's just people from different backgrounds are kind of thrown together, but they figure out how to work together and they like each other and they get along and all this stuff. And this season, they're like, everyone's taking shore leave. So they're all separated. And I'm like, but I like it when they're hanging out.
Right.
So the whole season's been them on their own adventures. But I think we're doing the TV thing. We're going to bring them back together by the end of the season at least. So yeah. So that's good. The whole thing where one of our main characters is trapped in a prison and then asteroids hit the earth on purpose and then the prison gets destroyed, but he's underground, so he's okay. Anyway, so that's all taken care of. That's all done.
That's all done?
For him anyway. Like it was an adventure for him, but it's over now.
Did he die? Sounds like he's dead.
No. Nah, he's fine.
Okay.
He can't die. He's too tough.
I mean, yeah, the building he was in got hit by a meteor, so he must be tough. Yeah.
Doing great. I mean, it's not that he got hit by the meteor. The meteor hit the ocean, and then tsunami wiped out the building. But he was like 18 stories underground and like sealed off. So,
I mean, if he's underground, water flows, right?
Sure does.
Is that an issue at all?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
So apparently the water came, wiped out the building, and then receded and is gone by the time they make it to the top after a few hours.
Okay.
I don't know how that works. I'm not a geologist.
I assume it doesn't work like that, but all right, TV. It's TV.
It is. It is TV.
Yeah.
What else? There's a really nice space battle moment. Where anyway, I put a link to the GIF in the Discord, but
I did see that.
Yeah, it's just basically like
very boring.
These fine. These pirates launch a bunch of torpedoes at them. So they just like open up all of their guns at them, and they're just spinning and trying to get as many angles on things as they can, and it's fantastic.
Looks very low quality and very just like.
Yeah, the GIF didn't do it justice.
I assume not. I assume it's the GIF's fault. Yes, but it looked like shoot as many bullets as you can and just hope to hit the target rather than tracking and locking onto the torpedoes or whatever.
There were a lot of misses. It's true.
Yeah, and I mean in space that can be problematic for people very far away. You don't want to mess with your shots.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody who's been very concerned about this.
Right.
Like you'd think, okay, so here's the I guess they could have smart enough trajectory tracking to be like, okay, we're going to shoot this projectile in this direction, and it will reach the same space that Mars is at the same time when it gets there, right?
Right.
So you'd think maybe they would avoid taking shots in specific directions at specific times. Like their onboard computers would be like, we're not,
Yeah.
Earth
Yeah.
is that way. We're not going to shoot at Earth, even though we can't see it. It's over that way, and there's no friction in space.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That's a good idea.
It's a very important part of space battles if you're going to do it in the local volume of anywhere you live.
Yep.
Also, just all the trash from wreckages, I imagine, is a detail that's utterly ignored by the show. Right? Because space debris is still an issue because it still moves very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple there's a couple moments, couple sequences there where like someone's in spitting range of a ship that gets blown up. And they're like, crap, the debris field's gonna hit us, and it sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do. They care about that. I forgot about that scene. Thanks for reminding me. That's a good one.
No worries. Anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Because like they can't. They're far enough away. They can't see anything, right? They're just on their radar. They're like, okay, that ship's gone. Crap. There's gonna be a lot of garbage heading our way at really high speeds. It'll effectively be weaponized. Yeah. Can we get out? Can we get outside of the dispersal field range? Can we? It's like, no, not really. Anywho, excellent. CBS All Access is getting rebranded as Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Which, like, it's just classic CBS not understanding anything about the internet.
I mean, I don't have CBS here, so
right. That's part of CBS not having any understanding of the internet.
You're gonna need to really explain what CBS is.
CBS is one of the 3 original TV networks in the US back when there were 3 TV channels. They have been the absolute slowest and worst to adapt to the new reality they find themselves in.
Okay.
They were the last channel to get their own streaming platform of anything. It sucks. It's expensive. It performs poorly. Apparently, the only show anybody cares about on it is Star Trek Discovery. That's where it is in the US.
Okay.
And it did super poorly. And so now they're like, well, that didn't work. Let's rename it as Paramount because that's a movie studio that we own. People like movies. I don't even know what they're doing. It's really stupid.
They're trying to leverage the portfolio of Paramount into making their streaming service successful, essentially.
I guess so. Yeah. And it all comes down to libraries. Okay, it's libraries and new content, right? These are the things that streaming platforms need in order for people to pay for them. So, yeah, Netflix used to be the giant library that had everything. But then they saw the writing on the wall and was like, okay, all these other companies are going to make their own streaming platforms. They're going to take The Office from us. They're going to take Brooklyn Nine-Nine from us. They're going to take, all this stuff that people are binging on our platform because they love it. And we're going to be left with nothing. We better have our own content. So they did. So they obviously dumped $1 bajillion into new content. And now they have a ton of original shows and movies.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different, right? It used to be that's where I go to watch established movies and established TV shows that started somewhere else, and Netflix paid the right to stream them. And now it's some of that, but it's largely I use Netflix largely for their new content, their brand new IP.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Very 50-50. Like if I got to literally last night I watched Castaway on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because I probably haven't seen Castaway in like 12 years, and I was like, I should watch that for some reason.
How did that even come up?
I don't know.
Okay. You were like, man, Tom Hanks knocking a tooth out with an ice skate. That's what I need today.
It was after I watched so I've been watching a lot of Folding Ideas, a YouTube channel about I don't know, critical thinking in movies. I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
good way to put it. And he had a video where it's like, I can't stop watching Contagion.
Yeah.
And I started watching that and realized I haven't seen Contagion. So I watched Contagion, and then I watched...
Contagion's a good movie. Sorry, continue.
Contagion is a good movie, and boy is it apt for the year we live
Yes.
in.
Yes.
And he makes a lot of great points. And then I was like, I need to feel alone. And Castaway came up. Because watching...
You can't catch COVID if you're on a stranded, deserted island.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And God, I just love tiny little details in that movie where... Well, it's not even a tiny little detail. It's like an ironic point where he gets off of being stranded on an island for a little over 4 years, and they hold a buffet for him, and it's all seafood. Right?
Yeah. That movie. It's a great movie for reasons like that, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then that makes sense. You watch Contagion, and you're like, I need to not feel like there are other people in the world right now, and Castaway's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Oh, so Contagion. I've told you the story of watching Contagion, right? For the first time.
No.
So Contagion, I think it was winter years ago. Like it came out in what?
11.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
So 2011, it's winter. I mean, it gotten some decent run on TV commercials and stuff. It wasn't like a huge blockbuster or anything. I think Marion Cotillard was in it. Obviously, we like her. We like Matt Damon. So went and saw it. And there's this lady right behind us who is coughing the whole time. And as the movie's continuing, it's getting contextually worse and worse and worse. Yeah. There was a little extra bit of dread in my experience with Contagion the first time I saw it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That is... They should have paid people to do that in the theater when it was in release. Like, okay, your job is to watch this movie 12 times a day and to sit behind people and cough.
Yeah,
sit at the back and cough.
It would have been a fantastic... Kids are being crazy.
I can hear.
Someone just get locked outside. What is going on?
Do you want to go deal with them?
They're happy. They're getting exercise. It's fine.
Okay.
They're pretty good at not hurting each other lately, so I'm going to let this roll. Anyway, yeah, Contagion's great. And then right at the start of the COVID, one of my brother-in-law was in town, and we were just doing a thing. I was like, we should watch Contagion. He's like, this is a terrible idea. So we watched it, and at the end, everybody was just like, kind of like, oh, like down and feeling gross.
They were looking forward to having food rations, MREs handed out by the military.
Yeah, they were.
And not enough to go around, and being kidnapped or assaulted in your home for potentially getting a vaccine first.
Yeah. It's a stupid, incredible cast. Kate Winslet's in there, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Bryan Cranston. Holy Elliot Gould. I mean,
Lawrence
this
Fishburne,
is Lawrence Fishburne's awesome in it.
It's a big lineup. Yeah,
it's a killer cast of talent. And I think the only way it works to have that much talent in your cast is to have everybody, show up to work for maybe a week. Because none of them really have a ton of screen time. Matt Damon probably has the most, but he's not even really the main character. There is no main character in this movie, right?
No, I would say the closest is almost... it's either Matt Damon or Lawrence Fishburne as he tries to establish some sort of a response within the CDC, right? So he's talking to people about growing the virus to then get a vaccine going, and he's also sending people out to Minnesota to start setting up makeshift hospitals to treat people. He's the closest you get to a protagonist.
True. He's involved in all levels of this for sure.
Right. But even then, it's not exactly a perfect fit. All right. There is no protagonist.
Right.
Yeah, good film.
Yeah, super, super good. It just, I don't know. I've said this before. I really, really feel like if the COVID was more in your face about how dangerous it was,
Mm-hmm.
like if, like in Contagion, if your loved ones are literally having seizures and dying
Mm-hmm.
instantly in front of you in the kitchen, like
Mm-hmm.
that turns it into a very real thing.
Right. The biggest difference with COVID and the contagion virus is the incubation period is something like 3 days in the movie, where
Yeah.
it's like there's like 3 days where you don't know you have symptoms, and then you die in 3 days or you get better. It's a
Yeah.
very fast turnaround like that. Like the kid was
Yep.
dead within his mother being back within a week.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
so whereas COVID is like 2 weeks to a month incubation, another 4 weeks of suffering and treatment.
Yeah, yeah. And, for most people who get it, it sucks, but they don't die.
Most. Yeah.
So that's a problem. It's just, I don't know. It's hard for a lot of people to take it all that seriously, and they see things like masks as an unnecessary thing, and it's gross. Like I don't know. It almost makes me wonder if it was more dangerous and more visibly dangerous like this, and the
Would it be?
mortality rate was higher, would it actually have fewer deaths because people took it more seriously?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Like COVID it's a victim of its own relative lack of mortality rate.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know. It's a mess.
I can see that though.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I love too, you're not sure where this came from exactly. And then at the end of the movie, they're just like, this one dude didn't wash his hands, went out, shook people's hands, and that was it. The world was done. It's like, geez, that's
Not
all
even,
it takes, man.
not even that. Not even that. It was a bat ate a banana and then dropped a
Yeah.
piece of that banana in a pig pen, and that pig pen went to a certain casino restaurant, and someone just happened to say, "I want a picture with the chef," and
Yeah.
then that was it.
Yeah. It's just a series of events. It's just
Yeah.
a series of unfortunate events. And if they all line up perfectly, then we have a global pandemic. And it's very familiar.
The
Yeah.
world's most unlikely Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah. And most tragic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Good film.
Yeah. Definitely a good film.
While we're on other films, I went and saw Shadow in the Clouds
Okay.
the other day with my brother. I went and saw that. I may have mentioned this movie to you when I saw the trailer for it while watching Monster Hunter, which is there's a scene where a woman falls out of a plane as another plane flies below her and explodes, and the shockwave rocks her back up into her first plane. Something I can only describe as utterly ridiculous. But knowing that it's going to be a silly movie like that, I was very excited to watch it, not take it seriously.
As long as you're in the right mindset and you know what you're getting into, that kind of film is really fun for sure.
Yes. There is about a 30-minute period where this film is okay. Have you seen Ryan Reynolds in Buried?
No.
Okay, that is a movie that has 4 actors, I think, and only one shooting location, which is Ryan Reynolds in a coffin buried underground.
I've heard of this movie though.
Yeah, you should watch it because I think they had to make like 50 coffins for them to shoot from different angles that are all identical. By coffin, I mean wooden box. And essentially, he's been buried, and he has a cell phone, and the terrorists like want money or something, and then they'll give the FBI his location. They go and dig him up, something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
I don't consider myself officially claustrophobic, but man, I hate movies like this.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do well with enclosed, you're going to suffocate type experiences. I think maybe it's because I watched The Abyss when I was like 7 years old.
The Abyss?
And there's a lot of it's it's basically people drowning for about 2 hours.
Awesome.
It is extremely terrifying. So I think that ruined me for this sort of thing. I don't know.
I recommend
Anyway,
it. Watch
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Watch it in chunks. But anyway, Shadows
Sure.
in the Cloud. There's like a 30-minute period where it's just the main character in a turret box under a plane, right? And she's on headsets talking to the rest of the people in the plane, and it's quite good.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
and then the rest of the movie happens,
Oh.
uh, where there's a gremlin on the plane, but nobody believes her.
Oh, they're not just what?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
They're just doing Twilight Zone straight up?
I guess I've not seen Twilight Zone.
Oh, that's a Twilight Zone reference. Dude's
Sure.
on a plane. He looks out the window. There's a gremlin screwing with the mechanics inside the wing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he tries to get someone's attention, it's gone.
Right. Basically, yes, that happens.
Okay. So they're ripping off Twilight Zone. Cool. Continue.
Yeah, and she has faked her way onto the plane by forging like military signatures and being like, "I'm here to transport this package. You cannot look in it. It's highly confidential." Turns out it's her baby, and she's just trying to escape an abusive husband. Uh,
Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm all right
yeah,
with that.
yeah. This is all stuff that's discovered while she's locked in this pod,
Okay.
and so it's
Oh, all
all
right. So it's still in the good part.
still in the good part. The gremlin somehow gets into the plane, steals the box that has her baby in it, and is like hanging it off the edge from where it's torn a hole in through the wing or something.
Oh, okay.
She's wounded at this point because she's been fighting the gremlin as best she can. She tried to use her finger for some reason to lock the door of this little pod closed so she didn't fall out of the damn thing, right? When the pod door tried to open, it just broke her finger, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
She then climbs on the underside of the plane like it's a rock climbing wall to go and save her baby. It's very, very unrealistic and just want you to think it is, though, right? Like, there's a point where people are like, "Oh my god, how are you not dead?" After they've been attacked by zeros, like Japanese zeros, and the rest of the crew have finally realized the gremlin is a real thing. And one of them goes to hug her, and she's like, "Ow, ow, that hurts my shoulder." I'm like, "What? How did the hug hurt?" But climbing on the underside of a plane that's moving to catch your baby with a hook, right? Like she has this pole that catches the bag strap that her baby's in, and it's like, how did you do that? But a hug hurts you.
Adrenaline.
Sure,
Adrenaline?
sure.
Yeah, I don't
Adrenaline's a
know.
thing, but
Yeah. No, that's
The-
fine. I'm with you.
it's like you guys were so close to a decent movie. And then there are parts where things literally teleport across the scene. So when she's getting on the plane, she's walking down like the landing strip, and someone's clearly like waving the glowy rods, being like, "Hey, land here." And then the plane comes out of the shadows, just misses her, and she spins and turns around, and it's right there, having turned around already. Right, like
Yeah.
it.
Ta-da!
Yes, basically.
Did a magic trick.
Yes, magic tricks like that happen a lot. But, I had fun being able to laugh at the movie. So if you want something dumb, I recommend. But, only if you want something dumb.
I hear you. What's it called again?
Shadow in the Clouds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shadow in the Clouds. Fair enough. I'm just still trying to find the Demon Slayer Infinity Train movie.
Oh, is that still not a thing in the West?
Not going well. No.
Mugen
Time for a
Train.
new Google. How to watch.
Hmm.
Oh, there's an article from a second ago. Hold on.
From a second ago?
Well, 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So it was released in October. We know this. It made a ton of money. Hooray. It's the fourth highest grossing movie of 2020. Which, again, low bar because 2020, but still.
Right.
It will select to theaters in early 2021. North America, Australia, and New Zealand. Screw everybody else. We are awesome.
It's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we're just waiting for early 2021.
Feels like we're in early 2021.
Yeah.
So
We are. So I don't know.
Yeah. It'll
Yeah.
get here when it gets here.
I watched a Giguk kind of recap of 2020's anime.
Oh, yeah. I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was all right. And
Yeah.
the moment where he was like, Demon Slayers. Oh my gosh. It's got like 20 times as many downloads as reviews as anything else.
It's I think that's manga sales is what he's looking at there, and it's
Okay.
54 million sales compared to the next best, which is like 4.9 million. It's an incredible difference. Yes,
it is massively popular for good reason.
Yeah. No.
I like it a lot. You can back off.
I might finish it one day. I don't know. Just give me a character I can care about.
Wow. All right. Fine. You don't care about the poor guy whose family got murdered and he's just trying to protect his sister?
Yeah, but if he doesn't actively protect his sister, he just like leaves her on park benches while he runs down the street because his nose told him to. It's not a very good character.
It turns out she can take care of herself eventually. But, for the first while there, he's doing a good job with it.
Sure. He let her sleep for like 6 years while he trained with some stranger on a mountain. Yeah. Literally what happens.
There are actually a lot of questions there. In all fairness.
Honestly, one of the big things that I don't like, I can like get past the character. I don't hate the kid. That memeing mostly. The thing that I don't like is I've seen a clip that everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is the animation's so sick it broke the internet." And I remember everyone on like Twitter having losing their shit over it. It's fine. It's not amazing though. Like I don't understand.
The one where his
he's got like a cut across his face, and he does this spiral thing, a bunch of like spiderweb like things. Yeah. And I'm like, it's nice, it's pretty. I don't think it's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, that whole fight. I mean, I don't know, if you want to find the whole fight on YouTube or something, all of it's pretty great. I don't know if it's fair to just be like, this one moment is the best moment, and it's everything that's incredible.
I mean, that's what people were saying, though. I was like,
true.
This, really?
Anyway, I think it's a pretty beautifully animated show, to be sure.
It's fine.
All right. What else is going on in the world? Got a new president. Inauguration for President Biden is tomorrow.
Oh, that's today, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's boring and nothing exciting happens.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
That would be ideal. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it will be. I think something will happen. Something will happen somewhere. I don't know to who or to what or to whit, but I don't think it'll be boring.
Okay.
I don't think it will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So they're talking about how they're probably going to hold a Senate trial.
Okay.
To convict Trump of the impeachment that he's already gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a two-part process, right? The House impeaches, and then that sends it to the Senate to say, do we want to remove this guy from office?
Right.
So normally the whole concept here is we just want to get this guy out of office. And so part of you is like, well, if he's already out of office, what's the point? If we do the Senate trial like in a month, so what? But the important thing here is that the Senate does have the ability to say you can't run for president again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I care about.
Right.
If we can do that, if we can just make Trump go away, cannot do another 4 years of Trump running for office. I can't do it with his people everywhere and everyone being stupid.
You're gonna come to Australia, right?
Yeah, probably. Anyway, yeah, if we can do that, then I think the work done by the Senate would be awesome.
I have a question. If the trial's in a month, and because don't the Senate change, like who the members are, not the Senate? Because I could have sworn there was like elections stuff going on that with the presidential election, or is that just Congress where that can change?
No, it was Senate.
Okay. So if do you use the people that were Senate members when he was president and when he was impeached, or do you go
No.
with the current people?
It's always current people. Anything that the Senate or Congress does is with the people who are in office at that point in time. That's it. It doesn't matter when it happened. It doesn't matter anything. It's just, are you the elected official right now? It's you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's fairly promising. There are certain Republican leaders who have come out very loudly about this recently and been like, you know, Trump provoked this action. It's a huge problem. We need to nip this in the bud. So it'd be nice. I don't know. I don't know if I expect it to, but if we could get there, I would be so happy. So happy.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I feel like that's just overshadowing everything. Like, what else is happening in the world? No idea.
No, I mean, China still has their concentration camps. They're exterminating people, but
Yeah.
nothing's going to happen there. Like, nobody's invading China to stop them from doing this. It is not an option.
No, of course not. Water's wet.
So-
News 11.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if you're talked about this in Discord a little bit, and I was like, so in general, we allow countries to genocide their own people if they want. Although, then I remember the U.S. did invade Iraq back in the 90s because they were gassing the Kurds who lived within the Iraqi borders.
Yeah.
So technically there is a precedent there, but the thing is, Iraq could not defend themselves from the United States, whereas China totally could. So I think it's more along the lines of, if you are strong enough to make a superpower think twice about invading you, then you can genocide your people.
Right.
If you're just going to get steamrolled by someone who has a giant army, then maybe treat your people better. I think that's how that works. Yeah.
That is probably an accurate summation. Also, China makes things for cheap, and economically, you don't want to lose that.
Yeah, that's true. I still think, though, if China turned expansionist and like started literally invading other countries, I think we'd take them down. Like, sorry, cheap goods are not worth this happening right now.
Well,
as long as they don't bother their neighbors, I think we're okay with it.
Right. I feel like if they did turn expansionist, there would be a effort to take them down and then to reestablish the precedent of making cheap shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like
Continue it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a, hey, you guys need to institute labor laws now that means you have to pay them more than a slave wage for making stuff in your factories.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if we get to the point that automation becomes a thing eventually, sooner rather than later, then does it get to the point where it's cheaper just to have robots do everything, and then who cares? Like, we're not paying people anything because we're not having them do this work,
Right, but then you get into the tricky subject of, do people legislate against automation because it would cut what jobs in manufacturing you do have in America?
Right.
I feel like people would absolutely try to do that, given that you guys still have people to pump people's gas in Oregon. Some jobs just don't go away.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that before. That's the big thing, is, are we going to allow automation of everything, virtually everything? And if we do, what happens? What happens to societies when that occurs?
Yes.
I still feel like there's two options here. One, the people that own the robots allow society to crumble around them and everything's destroyed because people are starving to death. They don't have work, which, I don't know. Like, do you want to be the richest person in the hellhole of a country where everybody's dead and rioting? Probably not, would be my guess.
I mean,
You think so? Think that'd be fun?
King in heaven versus servant in heaven. King in hell versus servant in heaven kind of a thing.
I guess. I don't know. I tend to believe these people would rather.
They
I
would
don't know.
They would
Would rather accept taxation on their robot production to allow for some level of a basic income situation to happen.
You think these people would prefer the privilege of being above a middle class than the Wonderland plaything they could turn the entire world into without these people? Right? Like if you have
what does
automation,
Wonderland plaything mean?
well, if you have literally no competition in terms of who's living in a location and you have everything you need because automation, I feel like suddenly being the only person, and if you want to demolish 600 people's houses and turn it into a concrete parking lot for your cars alone while you do whatever you want, it's not exactly possible, right? It's an outlandish theory, but imagine if everyone was Iron Man, right? All the people left were just people who had shit tons of money who didn't know what to do with it and infinite resources because of automation, right? These are the people that are building their own skyscrapers for the lulz.
Sure.
You know?
And sure, for short-sighted decisions, like, yeah, for sure. But I think, you look at it long term and it's like, so the only people alive, I don't know, it just turns into everybody dies kind of a thing. And that doesn't seem like a positive outcome.
Well, it seems
for
it probably turns into a lot of people die, but it's not everyone dies, and those that are
No.
left you get to control. See corpos in Cyberpunk, right? Like, here, sign this 40-year loyalty agreement, right? And then we'll feed you and house you, and you can go and fight in corporate wars.
Ooh, yeah. So like Outer Worlds, Fallout kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's another option. That is entirely fair. So dystopia, right? Is it Star Trek or is it Outer Worlds? Yeah.
For sure. Whew.
Exciting times we live in, that's for sure.
It's something.
You be cursed to live in exciting times, I think is the Chinese saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, Fatty's here. Hi, Fatty. Where have you been? I thought you died. Since you haven't been online in
Discord.
yeah.
You don't read his Discord. Why would you?
I'm not in his Discord.
You're not in his Discord?
No, I left.
I did not realize that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fatty's been arraigning Capitol Hill protesters recently. That's exciting stuff.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that's happening. There were some people who were like, no one's going to get prosecuted for this until Trump leaves office. But apparently there is still some semblance of justice in the United States, even though Trump is president. So that's good.
Wow. Give it 12 hours, you know?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I mean, it's just, the other thing is these guys, every person who went in the Capitol building's face is on digital file somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
We've got pictures, we've got video. We know what you look like. We're going to find you. There's no hiding. You morons. Yeah, I saw this tweet a million times, but it's like, man, if these guys were wearing masks, they'd be able to get away with it. But they're anti-masker idiots too, so it's a beautiful combination.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It is. It's wonderful. All right. Well, we good to go?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. Anything happening in sports?
Yeah, NFL playoffs are happening. They're kind of fun.
Oh, NFL playoffs.
Yeah. When the Super Bowl comes up, we'll talk about it then.
Sure.
That's what the world cares about, is the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. Yeah, look at all my hair. Yeah. Yep. Oh, actually, my Titan arrived. My Warhammer 40k Titan.
Where is it?
It's in a box over there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it doesn't come assembled.
Oh, right. There are some hours ahead of you, is what you're saying.
No, I'm sending it off to someone else to do that.
Oh, nice. You are. Good.
Yeah. So
you're going to have him paint it?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be great. yeah, more on that as it unfolds. Just to wrap
Sounds
up
good.
our news like broadcasting now.
Yeah,
Water
yeah.
is wet,
Ooh.
more as it unfolds on the Warhammer front. Yeah. Over to you.
We're looking forward to the updates for sure. All right, good stuff. Well, that's going to be it from us today. This has been Falcon Paladin and Summicron with another episode of the Falcon Paladin Hour. Feel free to check out the merch at falconpaladin.store. You can look at the Patreon page for the podcast as well. And until next time, as always, stay safe and stay healthy. And above all, take care of yourself.
Bye.